There you go.
Kelly Campbell has been a patient at NIH since she was 14 years old. You'd never know it, but she has a rare endocrine disease that could be fatal. When doctors in her home state of New York were stumped as to what could be wrong, they sent her to NIH, where doctors diagnosed her with Carney complex. When she came to Bethesda, she stayed at the Children's Inn.
I was sick when I was a little kid, and we didn't know what I had, so we had no name to it. So a handful of years after being looked at by a specialist up in New York, we came down here and finally got me diagnosed and figured out what I had. And the Children's Inn has just been amazing through the whole thing. It's been like a home away from home.
Today, she is at the Children's Inn with her family, but not for herself. Her 14-year-old daughter, Alexis, inherited the disorder and visits the inn once or twice a year.
She just had open heart surgery in September, which she handled beautifully, she did. But she's been in and out of hospitals and, trying to get everything stabilized with her and trying to get her back on her feet.
Dr. Philip Pizzo, chief of pediatrics at the National Cancer Institute, got the idea for the inn after he noticed families congregating in waiting rooms instead of heading to their hotels. He envisioned a supportive residence where families could stay for free while their children were being treated at NIH. The Children's Inn opened its doors in 1990 with 37 rooms. Today, there are 59 rooms at the inn, and it serves 1,500 families every year.
What he saw in the waiting rooms was that families relied on each other for that mutual support, that there was such value in families having the opportunity to sit with other families who were on the exact same journey. And I would say that's the magic of the inn. When you come to the Children's Inn and you see how our spaces are designed, it's to meet the diverse needs of the family and to provide families with the opportunity to support each other.
And when you enter the inn, you find yourself in a place where the hospital atmosphere disappears. There are large living spaces, playrooms for children, kitchens where family can cook amongst one another, and a massive playground where the kids can just be kids. There's even Zilly, the therapy dog.
Zilly, sit. Good.
Lucas says the inn brings families together for some normalcy and provides them with hope during extraordinarily difficult circumstances.
For the most part, these are children who have exhausted all of their options for treatment in their home states and their home countries, and they are here for that last best hope. These are kids who have very rare diseases or very difficult forms of childhood cancer. And I think for us, for the Children's Inn, what we are trying to do is give children who've been through more than most a childhood and try to support the entire family. And so we're trying to take care of all the little things so that the families can really focus on the big ones.
You know that everybody here is going through a similar situation. They're all here to either discover or try and be with the best of the best to try and figure out what's going on with their children or their families. And there's some type of comfort knowing that there's other people going through the struggle that you're going through with your own children.
Families come from around the world to stay at the inn. It's free of charge, and they can stay as long as they need. The facility is supported completely by private donations. It costs about $10 million a year to keep the inn up and running, and there are about 220 volunteers who donate their time.
I think Montgomery County and the people of Montgomery County are probably some of the most generous in the nation that are giving us 22,000 hours, I think it is, of their time each year.
The county's police department is also a big supporter of the inn. Each year it brings its Santa ride to the inn, much to the children's delight.
And so all the families line up outside waiting for Santa to arrive. And the uniformed police officers come into the inn and they have a big party. And you see them doing things that are probably not part of their regular day job, like painting faces and doing arts and crafts. And Santa spends a little bit of time with the kids. And they also in July come back and do Christmas in July. So they escort the kids to Toys R Us, and then they do this shop with the cops. So the police officers go help the kids find toys. It's this. I can't say enough about the people in Montgomery County and the police officers and everybody else who come to support our efforts. It feels like a big team.
The donations collected during the Santa ride provide funding for gifts for the children who are staying at the inn.
Which way are you going?
This way? Okay. Good, you got it?
And for Kelly Campbell and her family, being a part of that team has been nothing short of life-saving.
They look at them different here. You don't see a disease or a disability, or, you see a child playing with another child, and that's a great thing to have. They have the playground in the back, and they love to just be out there and playing and doing all those things that kids do away from the doctors and the looks and everything else that goes on with that, so it's been great. You played hard, huh?
So coming here is, it's a real lifesaver. And when I look around and I look at all the children here and all the children they treat, I think every person should spend a day in a children's hospital or in a ward. And what they do for the kids is unbelievable. It's really, they're angels. They're all, because that's all you can do is trust them.